What is up, everybody? My name is Wes. This is Topshelfers. And Will Ferrell is one of those guys that has almost single handedly developed my sense of humor. I grew up watching Will Ferrell from Saturday Night Live to Night of the Roxbury to Step Brothers and everything in between. And I think it would be disrespectful not to put him on the Mount Rushmore of comedy movie goats. It's hard not to. I don't think you could sit through a movie or an interview or a clip or a sketch or anything without laughing from Will Ferrell. I personally never met anyone who said they don't enjoy his work. So we're gonna rank all of Will Ferrell's movies from worst to best, and it's going to be a tough one because I think after the first like three or four on the bottom, it gets really difficult. So I'll get out of the way now. I think that Holmes and Watson was his worst movie. Just wasn't there. Land of the Lost, close second. The House or whatever it's called, third. And then I think just out of the sheer powerhouses that are here, we're going to put Megamind there. I don't hate Megamind, but it's not great. And then I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Stranger Than Fiction, even though I know some people really like it. It's fine. I understand if you do. And then this is where the rest of the list just becomes personal opinion, and it's difficult to get there. So for me, I've talked about this on other lists, and I understand the appeal of the movie. I understand that there's lots of funny scenes, but for me personally, I'm just not a big fan of Zoolander. I don't know. I felt like the first time I watched it, I was so excited. It was Ben Stiller, it was Will Ferrell. I've heard great things about it. All my friends have said they just died laughing, and I watched it and I was just like this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I don't think I got it when I was younger. I revisited it and I think I just had a bias and I just didn't enjoy it at all, which sucks because I know people really like it. And then I'll probably put The Campaign. The thing with The Campaign is there's so much opportunity for that movie to be one of the most funny movies ever, and it just ends up not being that. I don't know. For me, there was a couple times I was cackling, and then a lot of it I was like, okay. Okay, no, for sure. After this, going into the top 15, I'm gonna put the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie's good. It really is. I enjoy it, but I mean, look at its competition, dude. All right, now we're getting into the thick of it. I think that I'll probably put Daddy's Home 2 here, followed by Daddy's Home here. They're still so funny. And then Get Hard with the Kevin Hart. And now I feel like we're in the meat and potatoes of his movies. Because, yeah, I mean, look at this list. Anchorman 1 and 2, Old School, The Other Guys, Blades of Glory, Step Brothers, Elf, Semi-Pro, Talladega Nights, Night of the Roxbury, and Kicking and Screaming. I mean, that right there is an insane run of movies. Just an absolute insane run. So I have to make the decision, what movie is out of the top 10? I think I know what it's going to be. I think it's going to be Kicking and Screaming. Even though that movie's hilarious, I just think it makes sense for that to not be in the top 10 in my eyes, right? I feel like these other movies are just so iconic, and Kicking and Screaming has its iconic moments, but it's just not on that pedestal, you know? It's not Anchorman, it's not Old School, it's not Step Brothers, it's not Semi Pro, you know? Okay, so we got to dig into the top 10 here. And this is just like all the lists. This is going to be ridiculous because I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to put controversial take. I'm going to put Anchorman 2 at 10. Still phenomenal, right? Still so funny. Didn't quite live up to the hype. I was hoping Anchorman 1 is a goddamn masterpiece. And the second one was really funny, but I feel like they doubled down just a little too much on some of the really silly shit. I don't know. It just didn't hit me as much as the first one. Shit. And now we're just at the point where opinions are going to be opinions, and we don't. I don't know what to do. Shit. My gut's telling me Night of the Roxbury, but that movie is so criminally underrated for how dumb funny it is. And I just don't know, but I mean, is it like okay, well we'll just go down the list. Is it better than Anchorman? No. Is it better than Old School? No, but I would say it's maybe close. Is it better than the other guys? No. Is it better than Blades of Glory? Maybe. Is it better than Step Brothers? No. Is it better than Elf? No. Is it better than Semi Pro? No. Is it better than Talladega Nights? No. So these are our next three for sure, right? It's just what order are these three movies? I think Old School is probably the best here. And then these two are a toss-up. Blades of Glory, right? Like, as much shit as I give Zoolander, you would think that I would give the same amount of shit as to Blades of Glory just because of how weird and silly it is. But it just works so much better. I don't know. I really like Blades of Glory. So I think I'm going to put Night of the Roxbury at 9. I'm going to put Blades of Glory at 8. I'm going to put Old School at 7. And then we got to figure out which one of these is not in the top 5. Oh, shit. I think, again, for me, and for me alone, there's two movies that are neck and neck for this position. Semi Pro and Talladega Nights. And this is what I love about Will Ferrell movies, right? Is either one of those movies could be a bunch of people's favorite Will Ferrell movie. And that's what makes him so good. I personally think, for me, Talladega Nights was a slow burn movie. Meaning that, like, the first time I watched it, and I have a couple movies that were like this for me. The first time I watched it, I was like, I don't think this is great. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. And then I watched it the third time, and I was just cackling on the floor. And then the fourth time was better, the fifth time was better. Movies like that for me, like, and I'm not comparing these movies, but this has happened to me in other movies, like Napoleon Dynamite. First time I watched it, I was like, this is stupid. And then, like, you start getting the one-liners and the awkward humor and the silliness of it. What would be another good example? Don't Mess with the Zohan. First time I watched it, I was sitting there like, what did I just put myself through? And then I watched it again and again and again, and it just gets more funny. That's what Talladega Nights was for me. The first time I watched it, I didn't care. Semi Pro, though, was funny from the fucking get-go. So I'm going to put Talladega Nights at 6. I'm going to put Semi Pro at 5. My number 4 is an easy pick. It's going to be Elf. even though I think that my humor personally resonates better with like these, like from 10 to 5, I think that my humor is more in line with these movies. I can't help but roll out the red carpet for Elf, right? It is a Christmas staple that is by far more funny than any other Christmas movie that's out there, right? I was a Christmas Vacation every year guy. Like growing up, that was the Christmas movie we watched. Christmas Vacation's phenomenal, right? And then Elf came around, and it's like, oh, Elf is Elf, and so many one-liners, so many great moments from that movie. It's hard not to list it up there, even though like I almost wish that Elf was on a list of its own because it's a comedy, it's a Will Ferrell comedy movie, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the same humor as some of these other ones, right? Maybe it's because most of these other movies have a lot of mature rated stuff in it. Not saying like really bad stuff, but like, you know, not not necessarily kids movies, where Elf obviously is. And then we got our top three: Anchorman, The Other Guys, and Step Brothers. I can tell you right now that number three is The Other Guys. It Other Guys is so good. The way that movie starts out, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And then they jump off that building and die, and then it's just Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell now. Oh, and then the way that Will Ferrell treats Eva Mendes, his hot wife in that movie, and Mark Wahlberg's so blown away that his wife was so hot. it There's so much from The Other Guys, and honestly, if you haven't seen it, like it is peak performances from both of those guys. So now it comes down to the two big ones in my eyes: Step Brothers and Anchorman. And I don't know, man. I've done tier lists. I've done a Will Ferrell tier list in the past, um, where I just ranked them like S tier, A tier, B tier. I didn't do them in order. Um, and I'm curious. I'm probably going to pull it up after this because I want to see if my opinions have changed after revisiting these movies. I'll start working on that on the side. But I went back and watched both of these movies before making this tier list. And I gotta say that, like, oh, there I am talking about Will Ferrell. um, it they're both so just right up my alley for humor. It really is. Anchorman, like Ron Burgundy, is one of the best comedic characters ever made, in my opinion. It's just he's so funny, and there's so many like small details that you pick up the more that you watch it about his character that are just so good. The cast is phenomenal. And then you have Step Brothers that it's through and through the whole movie, every single scene, there's just something ridiculous. I feel like Step Brothers is way more quoted and kind of made a bigger impact than Anchorman. I think Anchorman will live on, like, as time continues to go on. I think Anchorman will be looked at as like his magnus opus, if you want to call it that. I think. I mean, he made a Ron Burgundy podcast. I don't know. Will Ferrell rarely does like interviews and stuff, and he isn't on social media. So I don't know what he thinks is his favorite. I mean, I'm sure I could Google it, but I'm not going to. I think for the time being, where I stand in this moment in time after rewatching both of them, I'm still going to give the slight edge to Step Brothers as the top movie over Anchorman. But I mean, we're talking if we're ranking Will Ferrell movies, it's like a 9.5 versus a 9.6, right? Like they're So good, guys. But that's my list. So Will Ferrell's movies ranked from worst to best. My top 10: Anchorman 2, Night of the Roxbury, Blades of Glory, Old School, Talladega Nights, Semi-Pro, Elf, The Other Guys, Anchorman, and Step Brothers. We'll check out any community ranks if there are some. It looks like this is the average here. Step Brothers, Anchorman, of course. Talladega Nights is actually in the top next to Elf, which is shocking. Blades of Glory that high, I'm surprised. I thought a lot of people wouldn't like them. Having Old School at not good is insane. I understand a lot of people probably don't like Night of the Roxbury. Whatever, I don't care. Zoolander, I'm sure I have a very unique opinion, or very uncommon opinion on that movie, which is fine. All right, and then just for shits and giggles, here was me. Hello, me. And I fucking... oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I was gonna fucking touch my own face. Let's see what I had at the end here, because I'm just curious if I've changed. So this movie came out 2 years ago. Interestingly enough, I had Zoolander higher up. Weird. I've always not liked that movie. But I still had Step Brothers and Anchorman there, Elf at 3, and then Old School, Other Guys, Semi-Pro. Interesting. I had Kicking and Screaming higher than I do now, too. This list does have Zoolander 2, which I would have put much lower as well. I think this is the coolest thing about doing tier lists, you know, in different ways, and kind of going back and checking yourself, is you can see how your opinions have changed by the more views you have of these movies. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, please drop a sub. We're trying to hit 1,000. I'm going to do a fun giveaway. And let me know if you agree or disagree with the list. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.